had to literally claw and scrape to find new people in my cold market. So I would suggest like kind of picking a platform that you do want to expand on. If you do want to continue on your personal page, I don't know how long you've been a coach, but I always suggest at least starting a like page, because I don't want you guys to get to that point where you like maxed out your Facebook page and then you are starting a like page at 0. And until you kind of get to like 5,000 likes on a like page, it can be like you're talking to crickets every day. So just to kind of get that wheel turning, I went from 700 likes to over almost 6,000 likes now since November 2014. So compound effect, guys, is like the epitome of everything. But here's the deal. When you guys see a sponsored ad that is shown to you, that means that this is something that relates to you. It's probably a product. I mean, sometimes they don't, but it's a product, it's a service, it's a brand that relates to you. I will often click on that ad and I will look at the people that are commenting on this thread. Most of them are garbage because they're just hating and blah, 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 like, you know, just being the devil, being a troll on social media. But if someone kind of fits the role of what I'm looking for and they're speaking positively or they're asking a question and they look like someone in my niche, I will add people from there. Then this is just an example on how everything can spider into adding to a cold market. So let's say I friend requested this person that commented on a thread and they said something that I could relate with. Once they accept my friend request, then I go to their friends and I'll add 2 or 3 from them. So imagine how I can continually always be adding for my cold market. I looked also for my like page. I only spent $2,000 on my ad budget for finding a new audience, recruiting new people, finding new challengers on my Facebook like page. Guys, $2,000 is nothing when it comes to in terms of advertising for your business. So I tell people all the time that you need to spend a little to make a little. So you can absolutely do it without needing to spend any money. But I think spending the $2,000 for my entire year was worth it because clearly I made that back in my investment. And people always say like they don't know where to look next. There's so many avenues that you can go. If you're going to do Instagram, you have to be fully committed and you got to know what you're doing on Instagram. You have to be intentional. You have to be in your direct message box. I just don't invest all my time with Instagram. I dabble with it. So I'm not successful with it because I only dabble with it. So it's Facebook and my like page. Are there any training social media finding biz builders that change your business? I can kind of think of a couple things. So again, when I was a new coach, there were no like, here's step 1 to hit diamond. It was kind of like, go on YouTube and find what you can. So I was really inspired by people like Katie Hefner and Brittany Leggett. I'm good friends with Lindsay Stay, so I kind of got to know them and I watched every single video that they had on their YouTube channel. Now here is the kicker, guys. You can watch all these trainings that you want, but you eventually need to start leading from the front. So you know what I did? I was like, all right, Katie and Brittany made this Getting Started Right webinar for their new coaches. I had like 4 coaches, but I said, if I want people to see me as a leader and not just always sharing something like my uplines trainings or another coach's webinars, I made my own Getting Started Right webinar. So if you're looking to make a shift in your business, go find something to duplicate that you can make your own, because do you know how good that feels? It's really empowering. It doesn't need to be perfect. It doesn't matter. You have to start somewhere. So I remember seeing Katie and Brittany's Getting Started Right webinar, and that for me was a big eye-opener. I remember that specifically. But other than that, honestly, I like self-taught a lot of stuff just through always looking. Social media trainings, anything Chelsea Pearson has to say about social media, bomb. Anything, Bonnie's one of my best friends. Anything that Bonnie has to share on social media, she has done so many calls, watched everything that she does. What is something that you think really works well in your challenge groups? I do challenge groups a little bit different. I do an ongoing community. When I first started, I started a new challenge group every single month. Actually, no, that's a lie. back in the day when it was T25, I did like a 10-week challenge group and posted every day, and then would restart a new group, and that obviously got painful. But then once the 21-day fix came out, I did 30-day challenge groups. But now I do an ongoing challenge group because I have a few hundred people in there, because I allow my new coaches to kind of add people in there to get their feet wet, and then they branch off and do their own. But my challenge group basically takes care of itself. So I treat my challenge group as if I'm posting on my social media. So I share with them what I learned today. I talk personal development. I talk about the realness of how I didn't want to work out today, or maybe I did. I'm extremely raw and real in my challenge groups. If I ate the donut, they know I ate the donut. I think that they really are like, oh, wow. So they're starting to see that these are just average people that are busy every single day like all of us, but we're making it happen. So they're really inspired. I have some amazing transformations in my challenge group, as is everyone, but I love my little challengers. So that's something that's really helped me. And sometimes I need to do like little focuses, like little themes. So I'm leaving for a music festival on Friday, and I wanted to feel really good in my bikini. So I did like a 30-day fitness blitz. So I'll randomly think of a theme or an idea so that this ongoing challenge group doesn't kind of fizzle out and die. So that's something I do. What the heck is that? I have a like page. I use Instagram and Twitter as well. Been a coach for 3 months, so I'm sure I need to let time give me some authenticity. Love that tip. Yeah, so here's the thing about using those 3 avenues. Not that it's bad. Nothing is black and white in this business. I just want you to know that, like, so a Facebook like page and Instagram and Twitter are completely different platforms. So you just have to make sure you understand that what you post on Instagram probably doesn't always work for Facebook, and vice versa. You know, I know Twitter is very limited too, but in terms of like, you can't post like a million characters. So just know that if you're going to do 3 platforms, that's actually a lot. We usually say maximize 1 to 2 platforms and own it. Like, focus on where you're seeing the most results. And then once you get to a point of, okay, I need to expand, then you can kind of go into the second one. But I mean, like, we get paid to be professional storytellers. That is like the coolest job in the world, if you ask me. I share, my story every single day on social media. I share the good, the bad, the ugly. And my goal is to educate, inspire, and entertain. And I get paid to do that. And you do too. Any other questions? I thought you left us, Lindsay.
So I had internet. The internet cut me out. So that was
no worries.
So I'm back.
Sorry, what'd you say?
So now I'm back.
Good. I live in the middle of, we still have like just above dial up. So sometimes my Zooms don't even work where I live. It's bad.
You live in like, I've been up to Tahoe before because I went to school in Idaho. I'm from
cool.
Chicago, but like I was in Chicago and I'm like, I need to go out west. So I wanted to be out west so bad. And I started school in Idaho, and then I went down to Tahoe for, I don't know, a long weekend, but I love your photos because if you guys follow, you should follow her first of all, because the photos are like, you know, I can't even like describe, but they're always on paddle boards and they're taking photos, and you see this clear water, and they're always out and about, and like she's showing in my story. I relate a lot to your story because I had the boss that hated me too, who RSVP'd to my wedding, didn't show up. Like I was like, awesome. It's something that usually you don't notice when you have a wedding, but like I noticed it because this was a person I worked with every day that I answered to. And situation, lost the job, like, and never ever again did I want someone in control of my future ever. I was willing to do whatever to never have that, and that's why I did the same thing and went all in with this business. And then I went through a really tough time, different from you, but like I didn't know if I'd ever have a family. I battled infertility and all this stuff, and it's very similar to like. And instead of saying, oh, my life is so rough, I'm just going to shut it down, I actually immersed myself into this. So I relate so much to you, which is
congrats, by the way. That's amazing. I get so excited when I hear that.
thanks. Yeah. But it's so, and she's like Tahoe, like it's so pretty. What put you up there? The job put you up there?
So I have always been like a wild adventurer at heart. And when I turned 24, I was living with my mom and dad, making this corporate salary, which wasn't like super crazy, but I was like, I live at home and I'm very close with my family. So that's the only thing I didn't really want to leave. But I'm like, I'm not ready to buy a house. So I'm like, you only live once. I don't know if you guys have heard the rocking chair test, but when you're 80 years old in your rocking chair, are you going to regret the things you aren't doing right now? Like, I can see the ages that we have here, from 20 up to I have no idea what, but are you going to be 80 in your rocking chair regretting that you didn't do X, Y, Z during this? This is like the years, guys. So I was already thinking about that when I was 24, and I was like, my ex-boyfriend had lived here. I had seen photos. That is it. And I was like, I'm moving to Lake Tahoe. So I moved here to snowboard, and luckily I was able to transfer the Verizon job. So it was crazy because I had this amazing lifestyle here, but my life, my career life was terrible. So it was like this constant bipolar life of, I love my weekend, I hate my life. So I just had to own it. I had to do it for me, because you won't make this change in your life until you've had it up to here of BS. Like, most people are comfortable. They're like, I don't need this job. So you're just going to kind of like hang out in the middle and be comfy. You need to have that inspiration or desperation to move you forward.
Yeah, I think who said something about you have to get I think maybe it was Shay Stanford, that you have to get so angry. It's not, I can't put it all in words, but like, it was like, you have to be so mad that you go after this business. And I remember just thinking, I graduated college. They told me to get a degree. They told me they were going to move me up the ladder if I got a degree. I've got this student loan debt. Like, and now she's doing these things to me and like not doing any of what I was told. And I got so angry, and I was like, I'm going to figure something out myself. I'm done with this. Like, and they ended up closing the doors on me, but like, and it's interesting to shift this, but you guys, I've been elite 4 times. I'm 11 star. Like, I'm all these like things that you guys are like, Lindsay has no fear. But truth be told, I have 5 posts in my phone right now that I'm scared to death to put out there right now. And somebody just said some things on this call that's making me like, okay, just do it. Like, scared to death to share. One of them is about the old boss, and I know people who worked with me are on my thing, and I'm like, oh my God, they're gonna see this. Maybe I'll block them. You know, I'm scared to death to put it out there, but it's like, this is kind of important. So just so you know, like, she's, you know, Colleen is right. Like, you are gonna wake up and have to face some things that, I don't know if do you ever feel like, here's a good question for you. Do you ever feel like you've officially faced like a fear and like you just got it, or are you still every day like me? Like, I was looking at my memories and my post last year. I'm like, wow, I was just like putting it out there and just being all brave, Lindsay, like no big deal. And this year I'm like, ugh, and I don't know what the deal is. Like, what happened? And do you ever like I feel like I'm always shifting, you know?
Well, change is good and shift is good. Because if we kind of, you know, like, so let me answer your question first, because I'm horrible at this. I go on tangents. So in terms of posting, I am like no filter. I have no fear. I actually get bored. I'm like, how deep can I dig today? Like, for me, that's not my fearful stuff. What's fearful for me is I have to sometimes talk the demons down of like, you know, what if I didn't have this job anymore? Like, what would I do? But I always focus on the positive, and I focus on what I can find to be grateful for. And I say, even if I wasn't a coach tomorrow, I'm a better person and I would know what to do next. I would have control to go do something else. So I love this so much. Amy Silverman always says that if you love something so much and you're afraid to lose it, give it away. So I wake up every day like, who can I pay this forward to? Who can I pay this forward to? Because I want to keep it forever. So my fear stems from losing something that I love so much. But I always just kind of have to talk myself down. And I've had a really tough roller coaster of a ride we all have, but like being premier and elite and losing rank. I had 5 diamonds quit on me last year right before the end of the year, and I thought they were lifers. Like, it was just like, guys, you have no idea what the people face that you see succeeding every day. So someone once told me, stop thinking you're so important. Like when something happens, like when I lost my 5 diamonds, I'm like, oh, I can't be successful. I lost 5 diamonds. They're like, stop thinking you're so important. There's people that lose 5 diamonds all the time. And I was like, oh, ouch, you're right. So, I mean, I love the tough love, but
yeah, that's true. I've lost them too.
Yeah.
You are not alone.
It's crazy.
It's not fun when it's creeping up on that year-end stuff. That's not fun.
Yeah. I share with my team unapologetically, like the same thing with my social media. I had 37 coach cancellations come in April between, like my PS coaches and my coaches. And I tell people, if you don't have a strong mind, and this is like me I'm not even a mom, but pulling the mom card, the finger in your face. If you don't have a strong mind and if you're not tough, when you get 37 coach cancellation emails, what do? In that moment, that will define your success. When you have the 5 diamonds quit, you just have to move forward. You have to have that expectation of shit's going to happen. I don't know if I can swear in this call, but I already have. So you guys get that strong mind, get that tough skin, and you're just going to be trucking through the mud. You can do this.
Yeah.
You too, Lindsay. Me too. I always have to point the leaders out. Otherwise, I sound like I'm being mean.
Well, thank you so much. This was awesome. Sorry I got booted out there for a minute. But
okay.
I hope this was good for you guys. I really appreciate you taking your time this morning to share with us.
You're welcome. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, I know this is the topic of all topics on top of the actions that you need to take to build your business. Once you can get through or every day, work really hard at this, you guys, and get through like 37 cancellations, you're going to be doing amazing in this business.
Yes.
So, all right. Well, I don't see any more questions, and we are just about out of time. So thank you again so much, Colleen.
You're very welcome.
Appreciate it. I hope you guys have an awesome Tuesday.
Bye, guys. Thanks for having me.
Bye.